and welcome back. I hope y'all have had an amazing weekend and you've stayed cool and hydrated. We have had a wonderful weekend, and I'm not gonna lie, my mind has been on a few things, and I've tried to figure out the best way how to address this. And all I know how to do is just to face it head on and just go ahead and put it out there and address this. You can call it a disclaimer, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but I feel that I have got to put this out there. I've been praying about it, and I thought about it all day yesterday, up into the night, was praying about it, went to bed with it, woke up with it, still trying to figure out how to address it. So I'm just gonna face it head on. That's the only way I know how to do it. So this channel is a devotional channel, and that can mean many different things for many different people. For whatever reason, God picked me to do it. This was not something I wanted, nor did I plan. If you've been here from the beginning and come over from my other channel, you will know how all this evolved. And with all of that being said, I never, ever want to make anyone feel bad about where they're at, the choices they've made, the decisions they've made in their lives, you know, how they've come to where they are and all of that. You know, I am no one to judge, okay? The Bible is very clear, we do not judge. For how we judge people is how we will be judged. And I'm still trying to make it. I'm still trying to get through this life and do the best that I can. I'm not here to persuade you to think, live, do everything the way I do. All I can do is share my testimony. All I do is share where I'm at in my life. All I do is share things I'm going through, places I've been, and the avenues the Lord has provided for me to get me through. And I want to be an encouragement in anything I share, whether it is this book, scripture, videos, songs, whatever it is that I share is literally things the Lord has used to help me. It is never a tool that I use to try to convince you or persuade you or condemn you or judge you or anything like that. All I know is what I've been through. All I know is how God has used things and people and videos and songs and scripture and messages, you know, to help me and to get me through things. And I just want to be an encouragement. I want you to know that you are not in this alone. You are never alone, that God is always with you. This is not a channel about religion. I personally hate religion. I despise religion. Religion is man-made. That is my opinion. Anything I put on this channel, the thoughts, anything like that, is strictly my opinion. And I think I try my best to be very clear about that. But I don't like religion. I don't like labels. I don't like, I personally hate religion, and I hate the different denominations of religion. Religion, in my opinion, is man-made, and it sets you in a box, and God is so awe-inspiring, and he's too large to be put into a box. And religion is man's ideas and man's convictions trying to put it over on others, and that's just not what I go for. The relationship with God is so personal and so intimate and so one-on-one that it took me many, many, many years to get to the place I am today. I had to unlearn everything that was taught to me, and I had to figure out for myself who God was, who he is, and my relationship with him. And just as intimate and personal as my relationship is with my own husband or my children, that's just how intimate my relationship is with God. So anything I share is strictly my opinion, my thoughts, what I've been through. If it can bless and encourage you and make you feel you're not alone, give you some tips on maybe you're in a place and the God above uses me and my big mouth to kind of speak to you and help you, wonderful. But never, ever, ever is it my intent to judge you, to convert you, to persuade you, to convince you. None of that. You know, that is all between you and God. Where you're at in your relationship, whether you have one or you don't, whether you've had one and you've walked away, whatever, that's between you and God. It has nothing to do with me. But I love you, and I will support you, and I will be here, and I will pray for you. I will not condemn you. It is not my job to condemn nor to judge. And I just want to make that very clear. I am not here to persuade you that whatever church you go to is the wrong one. They don't believe the right way. That is not my place. That is not... How do I say this and not sound so callous? But I don't care about that. You know, all I care about is that we make God the center and priority of our life. And when we do that, everything else just falls into place, as it has for me in my life. When I decided to forget man's way, forget what I've been taught and drilled into me my whole life and the ways that I was raised. When I decided to forget all of that and to get into my Bible and into my prayer closet, into my car, which is my altar, and to get into that place with God, so God can talk to me, teach me, change the things in me that he does not like, add the things to me that he wants in me and in my life. That is when I realized this is such an intimate relationship, and no two people's relationship with God is identical. It's not. But that does not mean that God does not use people, scripture, messages, songs to help us and encourage us when we're going through things. That's all. That's all this is. And if I have come across judgmental, if I have come across as insensitive, if I've come across that if you don't do things my way, you're wrong, I apologize. That has never been my intent. My intent is strictly to encourage and to let you know you are not alone. There are others that are going through things. And if something I've went through can encourage you with maybe where you're at, or maybe you'll face it in the future, that's all it is. It's strictly an encouragement. And I'm imperfect. And I've said it from the beginning. I don't know why God chose me. I don't. And quite honestly, I don't want it. But here I am because I want to be obedient. And this is where he has me for this season. And I will do it as long as he wants me to. Because at the end of the day, how he sees me and what he thinks about me is more important than what anyone else thinks or sees in me, is what he says. Because at the end of the day, he has the final say. He is the one that will either tell me enter in or depart from me. Nothing that anybody says about me or thinks about me is going to affect that. Only how he sees and views me. And he knows everything about us. And that's the thing. When we see people going through things, battling things, we may only see a glimpse into it. We don't know everything that has led up to it and that it's gonna come after it. We don't truly know how we would handle things unless we are absolutely put in that position. So who am I to judge? Who am I? Who is anyone to judge what anybody goes through in their walk with God? I will never tell you your walk with God is subpar or your walk with God is exactly where I want to be. Because your walk with God, just like my walk with God, is our own and no one else's. And I want it to be made clear. I don't care what your denomination is. I don't care what church you go to. I don't care, any of that. I don't care, because that is between you and God. That has nothing to do with me. I will encourage you. I will not condemn you. Just like I hope that you will understand me and where I'm coming from and not condemn me, but you will be a source of encouragement. I truly believe this community is to be a source of encouragement for one another, to lift each other up. And that is all I have ever wanted to do. I have never wanted to come on here and pass all of my beliefs and the way I do things as the only way. It's not. And I learned so much from y'all. And when I read the comments, I learn so much, and I covet your prayers. And I know that when I am struggling and I'm going through some things, that y'all are praying for me, just like I hope and pray that y'all know I'm praying for y'all. And, life is tough enough without us, fighting against one another. Life is hard enough. The devil is fighting us all enough that the last thing we need to do is be fighting each other and trying to see, who is more holy, who is more this, who's more that. I'll tell you from the right now, I have so much to learn, but I can truthfully tell you, in the place I am today as I record this, I am nowhere near the person I was this time last year, or 2 years, or 5 years. I'm constantly growing in the Lord, and He is constantly teaching me things, and He is constantly taking things out of me and out of my life and my lifestyle, and replacing it with things that He does want in my life and my lifestyle. It's a continual thing, and that will not stop until the day that I die, because we are always growing in the Lord. And you may be in a place where you are much higher in your knowledge of things, or you may be just starting this adventure with the Lord. Wherever you're at, that's where you're meant to be at this time, because God makes no mistakes. And the minute we open ourselves up to Him, He is right there. And He will lead, guide, and direct us. And He will do it on such an individual basis that it will make sense to you, it will be clear to you, and no one will be able to persuade you otherwise, because that's how good God is. All I say and suggest and recommend is talk to God about everything. Go to Him about everything. Get in your word. Let Him speak to you. Let Him give you the words that He wants you to hear. Let Him take that Bible. That Bible is a living word. And He can take one scripture, give it to 500 different people, and every one of them gets something different from it, because it's a living word, and God speaks to us all on individual basis, and He comes right down to where we're at. So I encourage you to pray. Get into your word. Be open and sensitive to the Lord and the avenues in which He will provide for you on this journey with Him. That is all I ever want to get across. And just know, this is a safe place. I do not judge or condemn anyone, because I am no one to judge or condemn. But I will love you, and I will pray for you, and I will encourage you, just as I hope you will do for me. This thing with God is so intimate. It's intimate. And it is not about a title. It is not about a brand. But it is about a relationship, if we could ever understand that. I mean, I have 5 children who are all married. So we have a total of 10 children and 2 grandbabies. And each one of my relationships with each one of them is completely different. There are no 2 alike. Even the 2 that I give birth to, they are so completely individual, and my relationship is so different with both of them. So there is no way we can say that our relationship with God is going to be exactly like everyone else's, because we are all individuals and He created us that way. So do with this information what you will. I just felt that it needed to be said. I know it's not our typical, but there are some things that has happened over the weekend that has prompted this. And I wanted to put this disclaimer out there that anything I speak of on this channel is strictly my experience and my opinions. And it is never to condemn, persuade, or convince you of anything to do with the Lord in your relationship. That's all. So I love y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.